Oh, right. What's good? What's good, everyone? I know it has been quite a while, but give me a second to to what we always do at the beginning of these shows: share the stream. So give me a second to find the stream. Okay, I guess it's live now. I'm seeing it up on Facebook, and then I gotta share it, and share it. Okay, so just give me a second, y'all. Please share this live stream to your Facebook pages. Share it everywhere. So today is definitely going to be a show that's kind of all over the map. But it will be good. It'll be a good conversation. I have other people on the way, but I just want to get some stuff out of the way before I had some of the guys come on the show. So just give me a second. I got to share this out. Y'all know how this goes. I know it's been a minute, but a lot of things have been happening. So where else do I need to share this at? Sure. Stream. I mean, really, I really do wish Facebook would streamline this experience a little bit more, just to make it easier. Turn those notifications off. So sorry, y'all. I'm still sharing this out. Normally, I have a whole stuff, just ready to go, but I have a lot more groups to share this out to now. So, definitely been a lot going on. Sorry, post. Sorry, y'all. This is taking quite a bit of time. So just give me a little bit more here. Thank you. Please be just a little bit more gracious with your mans. Because I got these, where are these? Okay. Sorry, y'all. There's so many places I gotta ship this content. Is crazy. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Please, if you're watching this, share, like the video, share it if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube. Please, please, please hit the like button. Give me that thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up and hit subscribe, not describe, subscribe. So subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up. Giving these videos a thumbs up, kind of makes it easier for other people to find this content. And, I obviously, since I'm the creator of the show, I do believe that this content has value. So give me a second. I need to send somebody a link to this because, one second. Copy. Yeah, all these things, all the things. But yes, please like, share, and share. And, I would be greatly appreciative of that. So just one second, y'all. Okay. And we are here. So look, I know it's been a while. I know it's been quite a while, everyone. It has been too long since I've done one of these shows. Since my last show, I have, moved out of Houston, Texas. And I'm just all over the place. Like right now I'm broadcasting from New York. So I'm in New York right now. And just been all over the place. New York, home to visit family. Going to be in Atlanta for a little bit, just going to be wherever at this point, the joys of working from home, remote work, you can kind of live wherever you want to. So, or you can be wherever you want to. So things have just been really hectic and, I've just been taking a break away from doing the show every week. And, but that is just the Friday show. We have been doing Thursday shows on Patreon. So, if you really are interested in getting new content every week, no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow, by all means, join the Patreon. The Patreon, it's just search Men Like Us on Patreon, and you'll find it. In 1 second to pull it up on the screen share. Yeah, we got a lot of housekeeping stuff to get through, y'all. So just bear with me here. But yeah, Men Like Us on Patreon. We have 3 different tiers. You see, we got all these streams. We have a second, pretty much a second brand called the After Hours. So, the After Hours shows are mixed gender conversations where it's me and one of the guys from the crew and women. So they're invited on the show to speak their piece, have their say. The Friday shows are men only shows, but there's a lot that we will be adding to the Patreon. There's a lot of content already shot on the way that will be exclusive to the Patreon. So please get on Patreon, fuck with your boy. $5, $10, whatever, that kind of stuff helps. It helps, helps me to pay for this service and, keep some other things going and keep some other people engaged because people don't work for free all the time. So, a lot of this stuff is coming out of my pocket. So I would really appreciate y'all fucking with me, but we will give you extra exclusive content that is only on the Patreon page. And if you want to get a taste of what is on there, there was one video that the first Patreon video we posted publicly for everyone to sample the After Hours product. You can find it on the YouTube channel. I think it's on Facebook as well. So yeah, Patreon, fuck with your boy on that one. We just got a little housekeeping stuff. So also, Twitter Spaces it's a thing. So hop on Twitter and fuck with me. So yeah, we'll be having live conversations on Twitter Spaces at Men Like Us Pod on Twitter. That's where you will find me. And, it's me and some other people, some other regulars. Everybody in the comment sections, you recognize the same names all the time. So, you'll be seeing people. And yeah, that's really what it is. 1 second. I want to make sure that. Okay. Yeah, so Twitter Spaces, get on there so we can have some conversations. And I've heard some really interesting conversations on there already. It's exactly like Clubhouse. Essentially, it's just through Twitter. That's really the only difference. So, what else we got here? It's these two. Congratulations to Mike and Latreia. We never really did the congratulations on the Friday show because we haven't done a Friday show since they've gotten engaged. So, Mike Brooklyn from the Men Like Us podcast and the Real Talk podcast is now engaged. Him and Latreia are very happy. They almost to the point of being sickening. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate you two. Just stop it. Like you're so in love with each other. I hate it. Like, get away from me. So so yeah, I hung out with them just yesterday, where we all showed up and we volunteered for an event in Brooklyn called Transgiving. So shout out to the brothers that showed up. Well, to the Men Like Us crew. We this is us at Transgiving, after the event ended. We showed up, we moved, helped carry stuff into the building, ran a whole lot of stairs, served food all night, taking out trash, doing whatever else, just it was a volunteer event. So, but the brothers showed up, we had a good time, and it was a really dope ass event. And I'm gonna bring I got Trell and Mike here, so I'm gonna bring them on so we could talk about Transgiving a little bit in our experience, because it was a really dope event, and for us it was a really great volunteer event. So I'm gonna bring on Trell. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up?
And then we got Mike. Mr. Mike Brooklyn. Oh,
Yo,
Mike.
good.
So yeah, guys, Transgiving. It was a long event.
Yeah, sure was.
Man, my legs, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere today, even though I did. I went over, I did make a run, but it was a really dope ass event. Like, where I'm from, we ain't got they don't have events like that. And I would say to all the men out there who, call themselves transamorous, really get out there and start showing up. There are events all over the country, especially in a lot of major cities, that they give you some help. And I think it's important for people to see men stepping up and showing up and giving of themselves. So 'tis the season, really. So yeah, man. I don't know. How was your experience at the event? This wasn't your first one, was it?
No, I've been going to events since they first started. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even really explain what Transgiving was. Transgiving is actually. No, I'm sorry, bro. You the member of the organization. You can go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, Transgiving is basically just a celebration, of coming together. Like sort of like what you do with your family. A lot of these girls, they don't have a lot of these trans girls and trans men don't have no family to really go to and be with during the holidays. So they have this event for them. It's exclusive for them, and everybody else can come in and join in too. So pardon me. This is something I've been doing since day one that they first started. I've been volunteering and helping out and stuff like that. Help showing them that it is men like me out here that are interested in them, but gonna show we could be helpful too. We could be supportive in this times like this also too. I was even asked on the mic yesterday, like, what does Transgiving mean to me? And I said, well, basically, me, I don't have a family. So, coming to events like this is more of it is an event, but at the same time, it's more of like a family affair for me. People that I know and people that I respect. So, yeah. Basically, Transgiving is just it's a big dinner that's given out to many people that support and it's about the trans community. So yes.
A lot of food. Man, I just had my leftovers today.
Oh wow.
Thank you, Calexa, for blessing us with that food.
Yeah, Calexa.
It was good. Oh my God. I didn't really eat any of the food because I was running around working so hard. I just made me a plate and just got to work. So really, like the mac and cheese, ham, all that, the dressing, like I didn't have any of that yesterday.
Wow.
So like
I was helping, but I was eating too. So I ain't gonna front.
Yes. Mike was caking with the lady. It's just disgusting to watch sometimes because they're just too fucking happy. I don't like it. It disturbs me. No.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what? Too fucking bad.
Hey, congratulations, by the way, man. Congratulations on the engagement.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. So I mean, always glad to see, always glad to see good things happening to good people. So, everybody who's connected to us already knows that Latreia is a dope chick. So like Latreia's a dope chick. Mike's a good dude, like happy couple. Everybody was talking about it. It was like, yo, we need an invite to the wedding. Everybody's talking about the wed. Well, all the ladies was talking about Mike and Latreia's wedding, and the fellas was like, yeah, the bachelor party gonna be lit. We was all about that bachelor party. Oh, wait, we can't hear you, man. We can't hear you, Mike.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted or something. I don't know. Oh,
yeah. For some reason, the mute button was getting hit twice. But yeah, yo, Trell, we already know where you want to go.
It ain't fully up to me. It's your joint.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Andrea, Lexus, Maddie, Michaela, Brian, Tony, Ava? What's going on, everybody watching? So, really, I kind of just came right back and just jumped right back into this show. But for the people who are not familiar with this show, this is new to you. You don't understand what the fuck is going on here. This is the Men Like Us podcast. It is a podcast made for men who are attracted to women in the transgender community. This is for men who are struggling with themselves, men who aren't struggling with themselves. This is just a men's space. Give ourselves a voice in this space, and it's definitely needed. But we're here for the guys. We're here to support the men, and we're here to represent ourselves as men. Who like women in the trans community, who date women in the trans community, who are friends and in proximity to women in the trans community. A lot of times, there's lots of conversation about men in these spaces, but a lot of times men are not included in the conversations, which, really, that was something I ran into on Twitter Spaces earlier this week. There was a, hey, Cassie, hey, Kiki, I ran into a conversation on Twitter Spaces, and it was like, I think it just asks, like, are men who date women in the transgender community straight? And it was a woman, I think her name was like Dafrika or something like that on Twitter. But she was leading the conversation, but it was like two girls and then a gang of butch queens. And if you don't know what a butch queen is, it's just a gay man. So just like two trans women, a bunch of gay men, and all the gay men is jumping in talking about, no, they gay, this, and this. And I had to come in there with all the fire and fury because I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are to come in and talk on some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you?
Really got nothing.
Ladies, if you're watching this, do not let gay men tell you what the men are who date you. Like, gay men have no place in this conversation.
Sure don't.
I'm not going to jump in a conversation and talk about what gay men are and all this other junk and try and dictate their sexuality. Kind of dumb shit is that? Like, that don't even make sense. But for whatever reason, a lot of gay men feel like they have the agency to like talk about us and have authority on the conversation, which is weird. But ladies, don't give them that shit. Don't give them the validity. Don't give them don't give them none of that junk. Because that shit is trash, dude. It's whack. And I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. But I don't understand how this phenomenon came about where, a lot of women allow gay men to feel comfortable enough to like have conversations about shit that ain't got nothing to do with them. So, oh yeah, what up, William? William says I'm poly and date 2 trans women. So awesome space to have. Congrats to Trey and Mike as well. What's going on, bro? Yeah, we got to come. I was trying to think up a name for Mike and Latreia because they need like a couple name, like how they do with the celebrities and shit. Yeah, I don't know, fellas. Have you? I mean, Charles, have you ever run into that
What's that?
with like the gay men like trying to dictate to you, like, yo,
All the
like tell
time,
you
all the
what to help
time,
and shit?
all the time. And what kills me is when they be like, when you tell them like what you're into, they be like, "Oh, I could be a girl then too." I'm like, yo, no, you fucking can't. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, you can't. It's not the same, dog, and you know that. But you want to be ignorant to the whole circumstances, which is crazy. You know?
Mm. Well, something I also saw in that particular conversation on Twitter Spaces. Like, what are you showing us? Is that like hash browns? What is that? Oh, that's your leftovers from Thanksgiving. There you go.
Yo, facts.
No, what I was saying was, what was it? Oh, really, some of the gay men that jump in them conversations be like saying, "Oh no, the men is gay." If they mess with trans women, a lot of those guys really like they don't even see trans women as women, and they be sitting there
No.
looking like. And if you drag the conversation out long enough, some of them you can get them to slip up and say something that really invalidates the womanhood of a lot of trans women, of all trans women, really. So like it's really it is definitely fascinating how that happens, but it's just like, yo, come on, man, like just shut the fuck up. Like sit back, fall back, sit back. Like, come on now.
I got a homeboy that said, for every trans
What up,
woman,
Brian?
he said for every trans woman is a butch queen lurking for that attention.
That's another thing with this whole. Yeah, I feel you on that. There's something there
Yeah.
to that. There's something there with that. Like I feel like a lot of the gay men that hang around trans women, like these gay sidekicks they be having sometimes, like they're really invested in keeping cis men and trans women like separate. Like at no point are they ever like, yo, that's cool. We need to bring everybody together. They're usually like here for the bullshit and
Right.
here to like sow chaos. And I'm looking at these young girls. I'm like, he ain't here to like help your life be better, right? He just wants like sometimes misery loves company.
I'll be honest though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. These butch queens that we're talking about here, the ones that invalidate a trans woman's womanhood by trying to say that the men that date her are gay or whatever. A lot of those butch queens is like the small majority of men, say like in the trans attracted community, like a Daniel Scott, that are loud, they make noise, but they're a small minority of the people from within that community, because there's also a bunch of gay men out there that are great friends with trans women and don't invalidate their womanhood and aren't trying to take their men and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, let's not make it like it's bigger, but let's just point it out that that small minority does need to be checked.
It definitely does.
It
It's definitely a phenomenon. But yeah, I mean, not everybody is looking to jump into everybody else's business, but there's way too many that feel comfortable, too comfortable with this junk. And what's up, Christian Norwood? I actually had some things to get in with the show, but I will acknowledge Christian Norwood's question. Ugh. I don't know if we're being trolled or what, but Christian Norwood from YouTube says, hello, what do you guys think of the right-wing views on transgender women politically? We think their views suck and they're full of shit. So I mean,
and they need to hide away in their Fox News foxhole.
there you go. So it's just trash, but I just don't understand spending like wasting taxpayers' money and time and effort. Like you're wasting taxpayers' money crafting bills about who can go to what bathroom. Like, bro, we got way bigger issues than who takes a shit where. Like we're literally talking about what room people can take a shit in.
Yo, we have Kyle Rittenhouses to get rid of.
I mean, really, that whole crap today, man. That Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, I was just like, you know what? That's expected. The trial was definitely the fix was in.
Yep.
He But the one thing I will say about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, because I don't want to get too political here, but what I will say, something that people should really see in this incident is, the families of those victims, the families of those white victims, they just got the black experience, because those white lives were lost. Those people were standing up for black people. So essentially, those victims were black by proxy, and they got the treatment of a black victim in the court systems. Their families got no justice whatsoever. While they were black by proxy, somebody like a George Zimmerman, who isn't white, was white by proxy in that situation. He was protected by that system. But yeah, those victims were black by proxy, and it's horrible. And I hope, I don't know what other recourse they have civilly. I mean, how do you sue a 18-year-old with no credit, no nothing? They're poor. They're poor racist people from Northern Illinois.
From what I've seen, he looks like he come from money.
I mean, conservatives, that's the power that they have, is money. They shell out a ton of money to support their killers. But moving away from just the political stuff, because that is damn news here. What else did I have on my list? Okay, we talked about Transgiving. Cool. Twitter Spaces. Mike and Latreia engaged. Good things happening. Yeah, buddy. So, I just want to, fellas, I'm gonna take you down for a second, and I'll bring you back on. But I just want to provide an update. So, let's just take him down here. All right. So last year around this time, I put out a video called Home for the Holidays. And in that video, I detailed my coming out experience with my mother. So, I detailed, sharing with her that I was attracted to transgender women, and that, those were the women that I dated, engaged with, and, all these other things. I was really just being open and honest and transparent with her about it. And, it didn't end well. I can just say it didn't end well. And I don't need to, spell out the whole interaction. If you do want to hear my account of my coming out experience, it's called Home for the Holidays. So it's posted about a year ago on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. You can find it on the podcast platforms as well. So it's there. And I did that video because I felt that it was important to really give an honest view of the experience of men, the experience of men in these situations. Some people have open and accepting families, and some don't. So there are some people that, will say, hey, yeah, this isn't an issue. I don't understand, whatever. And then, for other people, their environment, their family, nothing around them validates their experience at all, or affirms their experience or their sexuality at all. So, I in the years since, I've met men that have lost their jobs for being openly attracted to trans women, for stepping up and living in their truth. Men that have been kicked out of their homes, their families' homes. And, obviously this is just an overall experience of a lot of people who have a sexuality that's outside of cis man and cis woman. So, I guess I just needed to share that because, there's a lot of people that, say, oh, well, cis men, cis het men have, everything is super easy all the time. They have no struggles. They have no this. And it's like, well, you're not a cis het man, and you don't know my story. You don't know my struggles. You don't know what is happening in my life or the lives of men like myself. So, I really felt it important to do that. And I also did that video because I felt a little disingenuous, constantly telling men, oh yeah, man, come on out. It's going to be fine. It's just, the fear is just in your head and all this other stuff. It's like, no, it's actually kind of can be really legitimate. and there can be real world consequences to you living in your truth. I think it just takes a man to be brave and bold enough to withstand that and just, do it and just say consequences, whatever be damned. I'm about my happiness and I need to live for myself. That's something I would definitely encourage for a lot of men. But, I just wanted to provide an update because, I put the video out a year. So, at the time I did. So the coming out didn't happen last year, but I put out that video detailing it last year. And, at that time when I put out that video, I didn't have a relationship with my mother. And we didn't talk for months after the coming out. And we didn't talk it was just a whole thing. The holidays were rough last year. Our relationship was definitely strained. Since then, our relationship definitely progressed and grew, and she was starting to open herself up to learning terms like cisgender, transgender, understanding the differences between biological sex and gender identity, gender expression, all that stuff. And she was definitely open to learning a little bit more. And, she was making an effort, and, I really appreciated that. But then, I don't know what happened or who got to her, I don't know, but out of nowhere, everything just kind of 180. So, we're kind of back at where we were, where, I think at this point, it's just, if I don't acknowledge it, it's not happening. So, definitely a strained relationship. And if you remember on that video, there was a lot of really crazy mindsets. For example, told me not to work with children because I might confuse boys. And I shouldn't be working with young boys because they'll be confused by my sexuality, which has nothing to do with whatever the hell I would tell the children about their career paths or whatever. But, it's just one of those things where it's just like everything is just treated with suspicion now. So things are still strained. Things are not perfect. Things are not great overall. But I just want to give that, 1 year later update since the holidays are right around the corner. But I will be going home for the holidays this year. I definitely decided to not avoid it and not stay away. And I'm gonna be there. So, we'll see how it goes and all that stuff. But I got hope. That things can change, and I just hope that at some point she comes around. And I'm not looking for my mother to be running around in a rainbow flag or a sky pink and sky blue flag or nothing like that. But, really, I'm just looking for fundamental, just respect. I don't even think that I would even need at least my parent to be, the most open and accepting person of all time. But I think it really, at this point, acceptance is a part of it. And we're still stuck in denial. So she still thinks I'm going to find a nice cisgender woman and give her grandbabies and have all these things with this cisgender woman, which is never going to happen. So, anywho, just wanted to share an update on that since it's holiday season and it is a kind of a stressful time for a lot of people who have lifestyles and sexualities that are outside of the, cis man, cis woman norm, dominant society norm. So, my heart's with everybody during these holidays, and I hope everyone can, find some place to go to, find some place to, find a way to be around people that appreciate them, and people that love them. So, with all of that said, I'm sorry, I wanted to. What else did I have? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure because I wrote like a couple bullet points. Just want to make sure I hit everything. Yeah. So essentially, that's what it is. And I'm gonna bring the guys back on right now. I just wanted to provide that update to the video from last year. So I'm gonna bring Mike and Trell back on. And, kind of talk about the holidays a little bit because it ain't easier for everybody. It's easier for some than others. So brothers, thanks for coming back on. Thanks for being on the screen, fellas. But what are the holidays looking like for y'all?
Trell, you go first.
I guess boring. This year is gonna be real boring. Last year I was at my homie's crib, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was with him. You know what I mean? Now he's no longer here. He's, locked up. So it's like it's gonna be boring for me this year. I already know it is. Because like I said, I don't have no family to really share it with. So yeah.
Yeah, but I see like just to kind of go back to what Chris was saying as far as like, the fallout with your mom and everything like that. Like this is kind of what kind of irks me sometimes is that within the community, and I'm talking the whole community, not just like transamorous or gay or lesbian or trans or bisexual, whatever the case is. Like when family members don't make an effort to kind of accept and learn about what their son or their daughter or whoever, what they're going through,
Right.
it's like it really puts such a strain on the relationship with no good reason behind it. And that's why the community has to be in a position to where we end up making our own families. Like, close friends become brothers and sisters by default, strictly because like families don't want to make that effort to be like, hey, you know what? I don't understand it completely, but let me learn more about it through you. They don't go that extra mile. They're just like, oh, you're not what I consider normal. Okay, get the fuck away from me. Like I've seen it happen one too many times. I mean, shit. Like I said, I had friends that I almost consider family, and they did it to me. Shit. So I mean, I have family that I haven't spoken to in years because they don't make an effort to really get to know me. You know what I mean? So like, I know how it is firsthand and second. And to hear that you're going through that, like, my heart just goes out to you. I wish there was a better scenario.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, again, man, I think it's important that we share our experiences like this because for for whatever reason, there are other members of the LGBTQIA plus community looking at us like, oh, you guys have everything easy. You have no struggles. You don't go through anything. And it's like, no, we go through as well. And
we go through a lot as well. Yeah.
I mean,
So as a matter of
I'm not
fact,
here to play the trauma Olympics and try to be like, well, my pain is greater than your pain or anything like that. I think we can live. I think everyone's experiences can be validated, and we can all accept each other, and not as I'm more important than you or you're more important than me. Just and I don't even mind putting the women in front, but at the very least, our experiences still need to be validated in some way. It's so it's different. Life is different. Everything is different. But I think it's important for us to get this stuff out there.
you have a question though, Trell. If you're not doing nothing for the holidays, why don't you, me, and Latria link up over at the diner, have some dinner?
I'll think about it. Cause me, I don't like to go out neither on Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But I appreciate the the invite.
Hey man, you got an invite from Roy too. So Roy talking about cooking. So get on out to Philly.
Wow,
Oh
that'd
shit!
be a wave. That'd be
Yo,
a wave.
actually, yo, maybe that could be a move right there. Like
Road
a little
trip.
holiday trip. Yeah.
There you go.
Right. So yeah.
So,
Yeah, I always wanted to go back to Philly too. I damn sure want to go back to Philly. I ain't gonna lie.
get in and get out there. So guys, I'm gonna take a hard right here, and I appreciate both of y'all for sharing and being authentic on the show. But I didn't want to take a hard right to have one more conversation before we get out of here. But before we do that, everyone watching this, if you're watching on Facebook, please like, share this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I need all of y'all watching this to fuck with me. Give me that fuck with you energy. Just fuck with me, y'all. Like the stuff, share it out there, help us reach more people. Also, so really, the one of the things from the Twitter Spaces, that Twitter Space conversation that came up as well was let's see, do I have a banner for that one? I don't think I do. They were talking about like being they were talking about like, being, if you're a member, they were conflating, I don't know, they were talking about being like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm losing my words right now. But they were talking about being members of the LGBTQ community, QIA plus community, and in that conversation that are men who date trans women, straight, gay, whatever. Um, a lot of people were like, well, they're part of the LGBT community,
Yeah,
and see, these men are queer. And they
and
were
not that.
conflating the two ideas. Like, if you are part of the LGBT community, that means you are queer by default. Mike, we got some static from your line, man. Got some
Oh,
static.
my bad. You good now? Good now?
Yeah, that's better. That's
My
better.
bad.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
I think I was hitting the wire. That's probably.
Yeah. So, they were conflating the two, and I'm just like, if in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, if a man says, hey, I like trans women and this is my sexuality is whatever, whatever, and and he wants to claim being a member of the LGBT community, like that doesn't instantly, in my mind, I'm like, how does that make him queer? I don't even know how those two things are completely tied together, but I don't know. What
Do
are
they
y'all
know?
thoughts?
Do they know what queer is?
I don't. I think they were just, for the sake of the conversation, I think they were just saying that. I think they were going under the assumption that we're all just straight up gay, and that equates to queer.
No. I have a friend who identifies as queer,
Okay.
and she even said herself, it's like queer is shorthand. So the real term is gender queer, which means she can at times feel feminine and at times she can feel masculine. You know what I mean? Like she can play both roles. And that doesn't have to do with like, oh, just because you're queer, you're gay. Where that comes from is the fact that back in the day, queer was considered a derogatory word for gay people, like the F word still is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're coming from with. So they're really just taking a derogatory term and then trying to flag it over an entire community. Trans amorous, are we part of the community? Of course. I mean, we date trans women. So there's no way that we can't be part of the community. It's just that where we fall is the plus sign because it's LGBTQ plus. So that's transamorous, that's sapiosexual, that's demisexual, intersex, pseudosexual, metrosexual, polyamorous, pansexual. So it's like a whole bunch of different people that fall into the plus category. So to take all of those people and say, oh, so they're all queer because they're gay. It's like every single one of those people in the community be like, no, we don't identify as gay. We identify as this.
Well, but I think a lot of things are self-identifiers, and you are what you are. But all I will say is, if you are a man who dates women in the trans community and you are open about it, and no matter what kind of women you like, no matter whatever, I just still view it all as being like you're straight, because in my mind, like, for me, and maybe I'm conflating some ideas, but it I'm looking at it like, yo, I'm the same person I was yesterday, a month ago, a week ago. So like, essentially, I'm still a straight man. And when I think about queer, I'm thinking about like queer community, like a lot of these, straight men that are coming into this space, they're not interested. They don't have rainbow flags at home. They're not at ballroom. They're not interested in a lot of the things that come with the subculture of the urban trans experience in a lot of ways. That's like, yo, these are straight guys. They're not queer. They're not interested in queer community, really, like, because that's just not every guy's get down. And in fact, most of the guys that I know that are married aren't in that space at all. Like, they're not. They don't go to ball. They don't go to ballroom. They've never been a part of a family. They don't even go to pageants. And it isn't like they have to, but it just isn't their interest. So it's just like, there's a lot of guys in my mind, I'm looking at it like, yo, we're straight men walking into this space, but we're not queer. We just, just not queer. I don't know.
They
That's
don't have
the way I'm reading it. What's
they
up?
don't have they don't have to be, but I guarantee you, once they go up to a cis hetero conservative that considers himself part of the majority, he's gonna be like, "Oh, so you're gay?" Like that's what he's gonna say. Like I mean that's what we run into all the time.
Yes. And there's a meme for that one. Cause that shit hits so fucking hard. Man, that shit hits so fucking hard. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry. Shout out to Jay Alba. Oh, yo, also, man, hanging out with y'all in New York has been dope as fuck. Oh my god, I've been missing out. I ain't gonna front. I've been missing out.
Trell, we said he was gonna say that too.
Yep, we did. Sure did.
Y'all, like men, like fellas, if you haven't done this, like yo, get in one of these Facebook groups. Get in the Men Like Us Tribe Facebook group or the Trans Supporter Brotherhood. Get in one of these men only spaces. Connect with other men and hang out. Like when you go and hang out with other men, you can have certain conversations just casually in person, and everybody's on the same page. And y'all can like go hang out, go to the same kind of bars, clubs, whatever. Like it just makes a world of difference. It is such a dope feeling, and it is bomb as hell. So I mean, like the fact that like y'all could just do this shit whenever, man. Y'all don't know how rough it is in the wildlands outside of New York.
Yo,
For the
Mike.
rest of the country,
Oh,
we don't have just other transgender men around us all the time.
Yo, Mike.
I know about that.
He discovered an ice cup last night.
Wait, he what?
Ice cup.
Wow.
For those of you that don't know, apparently in the city of New York, they sell ice in plastic cups. Hold on, I think I might have one left. No, we cashed them all out. What? I threw everything away. But they have like these plastic cups filled with ice, and then you just buy it, and they give you a straw.
Yeah.
So like we came back to my Airbnb here, and we just sitting there chilling and drinking, and we already got cups and straws, and it was just like, man, God damn it, New York has done it again.
In the summertime, I spend about $10 every week on ice cups.
Oh shit. Wait. Oh, here's a meme. It's like, friends, I don't care if you date trans women. I'm cool with gay people. It's like, man, I feel this meme so much. Because it's just like, God damn it. Because essentially, when people say that kind of stuff, essentially they're calling trans women men. They're like, y'all are just two men. That's essentially what they're doing. So trans families, allies, whoever, if you watch this deep into the show, that's what you're doing. Please don't do that shit. And I feel like that's the kind of shit half-hearted allies say when they don't really like, because they don't have to validate a trans woman's womanhood to get that line off.
Yeah, but Chris,
yes, sir.
You being a guy that was in the West Coast hip hop back in the day, right? It's like Ice Cube said, this is what they think about you.
Well, there's that. Yep. No Vaseline. Oh yeah, right. Shout out to Jay Alva. That was his meme. So look up Jay Alva on YouTube. He got a YouTube channel. He's another one of the Transgender brothers that is making content. You got him, you got Corey, you got Mike, you got Roy. Even Troll got a show to come out, talk show. Thanks for having me on, by the way. We had a dope conversation.
Yes.
Check out the Come Out Show. Get
Come
to
Out
it on
Talk
Facebook.
Show on Facebook and YouTube.
For sure. But yeah, what's up? I don't even know. I'm gonna just say Jabez, but yeah, that is true. Tracy says, "Who's going to buy Big Chris's I Love NYT?" Nobody. Nobody. Because just because I like a cup of ice don't mean New York is the greatest place on the planet or the center of the universe. We're not doing that here. Uh-oh. Am I having signal issues? Am I?
Where's Mike?
Oh, no, we lost. He's coming back. He dropped off. There he is. But yeah. Anywho, but yeah, it's just that LGBT queer shit. Just like it really just like, dude. Like I just see the gay men just trying to like, oh yeah, no, they're gay like us, and it's like, no, I'm not. I don't like anything male. Period. I don't like body hair. I don't like. I like femininity. I like let's just say other bodily features that are typically associated with women. So, what's up, Cassie? No, this is my cousin, Cassie. See, I got family. What up? Cassie, you're the best. Just keep watching, supporting, and if anybody asks, if you hear anybody say some shit, correct them. That's what you can do as a family member. Speak up. Don't let the bullshit just exist. But I just think a lot of people. Oh, is that Latreia? But I think that's just what a lot of people can do. And the point of the show, I had a young guy ask me like, "Yo, man, like, why do you do this show? Like, what benefits come from it?" And he had a hard time understanding. One of them was, really, a lot of times I think not. Okay, I'm sorry. Getting men to be open about their attraction and getting men to like share about themselves and their experiences, really, it kind of helps. Essentially, we're ambassadors in a way. Like we humanize the lives of trans women in the circles that we're in, because in the circles that I'm in, there are no trans people. Nobody knows any trans women or men. They don't know any people with trans experience. So in their minds, people with trans experience are just, people they see on TV. Like they're not human in their mind. It's not real for them because it doesn't exist in their actual universe. So that's why I think like a lot of us really need to be, we need to be anti-transphobia and really get out there, create some understanding through our own experience, because this is a really small community, and I think the more allies that speak up and stand up, the better. So I think it works like that for any oppressed small community that just doesn't have the numbers to be in everyone's universe, because that isn't even how it works for Black people. There are white people in this country that have never been around Black people. I went to college with kids who never sat in a classroom with a Black person before college. The first 18 years of their life, never sat in a classroom with a Black person. Like that's just what it is out there. So, and the trans community is obviously much, much smaller than the Black community overall. So it's just like, we gotta stand up and speak up, fellas. So if you're listening to this, guys, and you are a man who is engaged with a woman of trans experience, you need to be speaking up in any space that you're in. I'm not saying run around with a bullhorn saying I love trans women and this and this, but when the conversation comes up, because it does, and people will say things, it's on you to create that understanding and dispel the myths and correct people and help people understand certain realities that they don't understand themselves. Share. Each one teach one, essentially. So
also, if you're like 18 years old and you grew up in a place that had no people from any other culture besides pasty white, I suggest moving the fuck out of there.
Bro, here's the thing though, bro. Really, like this is the reality of the situation. Because I want to share something with you. This is it. Oh no, not a video. I don't want a video. I'm sorry. I have a graphic to I'm gonna pull up real quick. Give me 1 second.
Find it close by a big city and move to it.
So what I want to share is because I think this is a graph. When I saw this really illustrated to me what state our country is in, and I don't think this isn't the best one, but there was another better one that I saw. But I'm gonna just pull it up here. So this was the 2016 presidential election map, and when you see these maps, and even when it's drilled down even more to just like districts, you see that there's most of the country is red as fuck with a few blue dots across it. So like all of this red country is, a lot of heavy segregation and not so many black people. Not so many people of who are different. Let's say that. So, that's why I get into like I know most of the country is very disconnected from anything that we're talking about during on the show. Like it isn't their reality. It's not their universe. Hell, I mean, black people don't exist. A lot of these folks really, they might have one black person in their whole county. I've heard of that before as well. Where kids I went to college with, oh yeah, we had one black family in our school district, and that was like it. So it is really, black people are only 13% of the population. The trans population is like what, 1%, less than that. So it's just, anywho, I'm just really trying to drive the point home. It's like, I think there's good that can be done from men who are in proximity to the trans community and men who are true allies to help, other people around them understand certain realities and certain truths. So, guys, that's really something that we should all be doing. When the conversation comes up, we really should be talking. We really should be talking. And I'm not saying force the conversation or anything like that, but when people say things, cannot let it lie. We got to speak up. So,
yeah, of course, yeah.
For sure. But yeah, sorry, kind of. Oh, yeah, y'all know I go on tears. That's what it is. But we almost had our 1 hour time limit anyway, so I'm gonna dump out, but I'm gonna let you guys do a little promotion. So Mike, tell them where they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter at Mike Brooklyn, where I host the Real Talk podcast on major streaming platforms like Spotify, Podbean, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. So yeah, find it, listen to it, and rate it 5 stars.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, guys. Trell, before you go, I'm sorry, Monica. I missed your comment. Came in about 5 minutes ago. But I do want to address this. I do want to hear what y'all think about this. Monica says, I'm glad you like us trans women. It seems like your life would be so much simpler if you went to cis women. Is that a temptation for you sometimes? Gentlemen.
Sometimes I can't really say sometimes because yes, I'm still attracted to cis women also. So yes, I can't like. Of course, realistically speaking, it will be more comfortable, but I don't like to be just comfortable. I want to be on edge at all times. So I'd rather just be with trans women also.
Mike?
I mean, I've dated cis women, I've dated trans women, but I'm engaged now, so I am not on the market. So.
Hey, what's up, Katrina? Thanks for dropping in on this. I would say that I don't think my life would be simpler if I went to cis women. What I think, when we talk about our lives being simpler, we normally talk about like, it would have been simpler if we just, life is simpler when you're DL, when you're not open and you're not living in your truth and you don't have to take on the world. You don't have to take on the LGBT community or the trans community or people outside of both of those communities. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I made these moves. I did what I did, and I'm focused on living the happiest life that I can. And I'm really, yeah, I'm just really here to be free and not be bound by society's bullshit chains and the rules and regulations for how I should live my life. So yeah, no, I don't. There is no temptation in that for me at all. At all. None whatsoever. So I'm happy where I'm at, and I prefer women of trans experience. And there are some amazing women in this community, and I just feel blessed to be in proximity to some of them because they are really amazing, amazing individuals. And yeah, so no, I don't, not a temptation for me at all. At all. No, nope, nope, nope. I'm good. You know, so yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry for this conversation. It's selfish. I'm recalibrating the thought process. Oh, Gambit didn't answer the question. What up, Gambit? So I know I've been off of YouTube for a minute, homie. Simpler, yes, but not necessarily. Trans women are still women. Relationships are still relationships with ups and downs. And when dealing with family and friends, yeah, it's not as simple. And that's true. That's true. But yeah. Even if you name cis women, it ain't, it ain't nothing super simple anyways. But like Katrina said, trans women are women, and I'm stepping forward in that belief, but I'm also stepping forward that, this is a community I got love for. Like all the guys up here, like when we do this public stuff and we're putting ourselves out there, this is a labor of love. Like we straight up love. We have a lot of love for the trans community. We show up, we give a damn about what happens to the women in this community. And, I would love to see things get better for everyone in general. I just want to see everyone live happier lives. And part of that is, to help men get themselves together, help men accept themselves, help men, rationalize their attraction with their own, idea of masculinity. So once we get a lot more men living in their truths, that's a lot more allies, that's a lot more spread, and that's a lot less women dead. That's a lot more women having happier lives because they found somebody. And I'm not saying the happiness of your life should hinge on finding a man, but what I am saying is, there are a lot of people out there that are really happy in happy, loving relationships, and trans women should have all the access that cis women have to that. And societal phobias and bullshit and bigotry shouldn't get in the way of that. So, but yeah. I'm sorry, Facebook be cutting up with that. What up, Niambi? Niambi. And what's up, Gia? Katrina, what's up? Cool. So yeah, y'all. We gonna. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Trill. Bro, promote the show, man.
Yes, please everyone add the Come Out Talk Show on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube, the Come Out Talk Show. And my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook is all King Cleetrell. All right, it's all King Cleetrell on there. I'm the same on every platform. But yes, please add the Come Out Talk Show and subscribe to us on YouTube. We will be going live again tomorrow night, and we're doing a different time. It's going to be at 6. And yes, we're having a special guest. 2 special guests on there tomorrow. So yeah, please, everyone, come and add us. Come and watch and support us, please. Thank you.
Hold on, let's I'm gonna share the screen. I want to show everybody. So this is the Come Out Talk Show. Find them on YouTube. Subscribe to their YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, just like that. Pow. Subscribe. So I think I was on this episode, but yeah, I did an episode with them. It was very dope. They got quite a few episodes. They have one controversial episode in particular, episode 4.
Which is probably the most watched episode.
It is.
Believe it.
It is for them. Yeah. So the Come Out Talk Show, that's with Yonsei and Trail. Yonsei is a dope ass woman. You know, she's cool as fuck, and she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. So definitely get on there, ladies. I think ladies, you will enjoy the fuck out of that show. Get on the Come Out Talk Show. Yonsei is a great host. You know, and I love seeing Trail on there representing for the fellas and having some of us on there. Like, I appreciate that, bro.
Sure. Yes.
So I think it's dope as fuck, and I'm here for it, man. So everybody, please subscribe. The Come Out Talk Show on YouTube. Subscribe.
And also,
share. Yep.
Also, the Friendly Neighborhood Weed Smoker was on there as well. So shout out to Roy.
Royal Smokes.
Episode 5. Yes, he was.
And then that's right, the Real Talk podcast as well. Y'all need to find that shit. It's on what, Apple Podcasts and
it's
on
pretty much any way you can get your podcasts, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that.
Yep. So it's another podcast with you know, men hanging out, talking. I mean, it's not trans exclusive conversations. It's a whole lot of different things, but you know, there are trans conversations in there. So
it's a lot of trans conversations in there. It's just that it started out like pop culture, but we ended up veering off into cultural diversity and matters of, you know, trans related experience.
For sure. So with that, y'all, thank you everyone for joining us for this show, and we will see y'all again next week, day after Thanksgiving. We'll be going live. So with that, see y'all laters.